You're watching Black Tree on TV.
It opens up and it cuts you. And then they come to collect.
It's time.
Hello, Goran. How you doing?
Hi.
Just looking over you guys, IMDb, y'all have done so much great work. I remember back when you were always on ER for all those episodes, Goran, and Hiam, of course, Munich and Hellraiser and Succession and all these great TV shows that you've also done. And I wonder, like, now that TV has changed with the streaming platforms and everything else, has the way that you evaluate projects and choose projects changed? Whereas, it used to be so, few TV shows and so just a limited amount of movies. Now that streaming has added all these new stories and all these new, platforms to viewing, has the way that you choose which projects to be in change?
Thank you for asking the question. Really, it's very interesting. Yeah, it's something that I live with and I debate with all the time now. And I think I came to the conclusion that maybe I would change my mind about in a few months. I'm not really sure. That basically the work of an actor does not really change, right? The engagement of an actor to a project, whether it's a movie or a TV or a series that lasts for like 5 years or just like a mini series, like limited, or it's just like what you give the character is the most important thing, like how you melt your character with your personality with the character and what you give it and how you live it is the most interesting thing. The biggest difference is, like, when you do a movie, when you start and when you end, and when your character starts and when it ends. With the TV, there is like an open lifetime to it. That really, like, when you start, but you don't know when it ends, and you don't know necessarily where you're going. So there is something intriguing about that, in a sense, because it just keeps your neurons like kind of like electric all the time, and it keeps the excitement going. Sometimes you have deceptions because maybe it doesn't answer exactly your needs or what you imagined, but it's still like it's a great experience on its own.
It's a puzzle. The only one of its kind, forgotten until now.
And it's almost finished. Keep going.
So if I solve it, do I get a prize?
I do.
And Goran, like, how does it feel for Hellraiser, which, it's had so many iterations already, to kind of have this like retold new story, to have like this movie that everybody kind of has their idea about, but to have it retold in a way in this iteration?
Well, when David and I talked about the film, I specifically asked him, is this a remake? And David was, no, this is kind of a continuation of the story. I always wanted to know who these Cenobites were. The question was never answered in the old movies. We don't give that answer, but for us, David and I, when we were talking about, in Star Trek, they're like guests from another galaxy, explorers from another galaxy. In this case, these Cenobites, these creatures, are explorers from different dimension, and they're looking for something that it's lacking in theirs, and they're coming to our world with certain rules, and they can't just get in easily. They have these gates, like the box. And when they get in, they're looking for these specific things. And we really kind of like cut it down to very logical and very stern pieces of storytelling, at least in my mind as a Voight. That's how I was approaching the whole thing. And it was much easier for me that way because I knew we are not doing a remake. We're doing like sequel number 6, 7, 8, whatever. And we're telling our story, and we are telling the story of these sadistic explorers from another dimension coming here and doing whatever they're doing. So, you know, in my mind, that was very helpful how to approach the whole film. I wasn't thinking too much about the franchise before, although I was very familiar with it, and I like it. I love the idea behind the box and these creatures coming in. So I was all in.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Goran. Thank you.
Thank you.